Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapAndMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada, and thank you for joining me today. I've been a little bit AWOL for the last week, but for a very good reason. On Monday, May 9th, I will be celebrating my 15-year Stampin' anniversary. And to celebrate my anniversary and the launch of the new catalog, I've been hosting a Facebook event over on a private page for my customers and my team. So I've been busy on that front, but now I have a tutorial for you on the He's All That. And to be honest, this is a replay from Global Share Fair that I presented this last Saturday. But I'm taking it up just a notch, and I hope you like it, because I do. And I have a really hard time with mail cards, but I think I mastered this one. So let's get started. So this is the stamp set, He's All That. And we've got like wishing you a happy Father's Day, love that, love this guy, hello handsome, to the man who does everything, happy birthday to a classic, together for the long haul, every day with you is another adventure, and holy smokes, you're amazing. And then we've got some photo corners, a little button, and a number 1. So lots of events that can be covered in this. But these are the dies that go with it, that coordinate with it. And I love the coordination. We've got this die here, which can cut out to the man who does everything, or it can also cut out happy birthday to a classic. We've got this scallop circle, which can cut out every day with you is another adventure, or this one, which is what we are going to do. We're going to use that one. We've got the oval, whoops, that can cut out holy smokes, you're amazing. And you know, that doesn't have to be for mail either. That could be for anybody. And then we've got a sort of an arrow, and it cuts out that one. And we've got this detailed banner, and it can cut out happy birthday to a classic. Then we also have a couple of Argyle type dies, or rounded flags, I'm sorry, and then straight flags. So that is the stamp set and the dies. The designer series paper is also pretty awesome, and I showcased that in a unboxing video, which I will post somewhere up here so you can follow along with that. But the card we're going to be making today is, oops, there it is. Sorry, I gotta reach over. Is this one. And I thought it turned out really well. And you can see that car has been popped up and embossed. I'm going to show you two versions. The first one I did for the Global Share Fair, and then I stepped it up a notch. It's up to you if you want which one you want to do. But I'm going to give you some measurements. So the card base is basic black, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of basic white for the inside, which is 5 1/4 by 4. You need a piece of soft succulent, which again is 5 1/4 by 4. I have run this through the painted texture 3D embossing folder. I think that's what the name of it is, the painted texture 3D embossing folder. You need a piece of basic black that is 4 1/4 by 3.5. I thought I was lost something. I already die cut out the scalloped circle in the basic white. I have already die cut out in Cajun Craze the arrow. Then in the designer series paper, you need a piece that is 4 by 3, and then you are going to cut them into 1-inch strips like that. So you'll have 3 pieces, and you want to make sure that the pattern flows when you cut it out, so that I've cut through the pattern here with the bow tie, but when you put it together they're attached, but we're going to actually bring them apart partially like that when we mount it. Okay, so that's what it'll look like, and then you'll cut it into 1-inch strips. And then you'll also need the amazing rustic metallic adhesive backed dots, which I love. And mail cards are hard for me because I like bling. This is not bling, but it takes the card up a notch. So let's do a little bit of stamping. We'll get this over with, And I am, folks, bringing out my Stamparatus. Oh, and you'll need a scrap piece of basic white as well. Let me just get a scrap piece of a small piece of basic white, whatever you have on hand. That one will work just fine. I'm going to start first with the circle. I'm going to put it on this line and this line. So it's going to be in the middle of the circle is going to be there, and the middle of this circle is going to be there. And I'm going to put my magnets, strategically place my magnets so that they hook on without interfering with the stamp. I'm going to take the stamp with the washi, with the packing tape on here. It just makes it a little bit more cumbersome. I'm going to put this in the middle like that. Okay. And I'm using the Stamparatus because I want my card to be a nice, crisp, clean image. So I'm going to show you a couple ways of doing this. If you don't want to pop up the car, we're going to do this. And I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take my black memento and I'm going to ink up the image. Now I found, I've got to cut this off a little bit because it's getting caught. That's just the packing tape on the magnet. So when you're pressing down, because the happy birthday is fine, it's small letters, don't push too hard on the happy birthday because it is going to splay, especially the Y. Now I should have moved it down a little bit more, but that's okay. We're going to make this work. And now I'm going to ink this up again, and I'm going to continue inking it up, now pressing more on the bottom and in the middle so that the car gets nice and inky. And I'm still not happy with the car. I want it nice and inky. You can see the classic at the bottom has really come to life. And now I'm going to just push on the middle, that car. And you know what? I'm going to do it one more time, folks. I know I'm just going to do it one more time. I really want that car to be inky. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to cover that up and I am going to clean my stamp. If you want to, you can leave it as is and pop this on your card. But I want to take it up a notch and just make the car shiny. And so I'm going to take my clear embossing powder. I'm going to take my post-it notes. I've got my post-it notes here. I'm missing a post-it note. I'll just have to get another one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the post-it note and I'm going to cover up the bottom of the car. And I really don't care if I'm covering up the wheels, okay? And now with the post-it note, yeah, I'm going to have to, I need another post-it note. I had a post-it note, another post-it note on my desk, but I must have tossed it. Okay, so the trick with the post-it notes, so that you don't wreck your cardstock when you take the post-it note off, rub it on your on something, your shirt, to get some of the fiber so it's not as sticky. And I'm going to cover up the happy and the birthday like that. And now I've cleaned the stamp, right? So now I'm going to take the Versamark and I am going to ink up and stamp and cover the car. And I'm going to do it one more time, just for good measure, like that. Okay, and now I am going to, I'm going to leave that post-it note on there because it'll be handy when I'm embossing it. Yeah, I do have more. I ordered it, so it came in. This is my clear. And I'm going to cover the car up like that. Knock off the excess. Okay, and now I'm going to heat emboss it with my heat gun. Oops. And you'll see it really sort of meld and get shiny. There it goes. Can you see it turning, going shiny? That is perfect. Okay, so you can continue on and finish the card, or we can do this. And we're going to do it one more time. I'm going to put this on here. This is just my scrap piece. And I should clean that off. It's got Versamark on it. And this time I'm not going to use the post-it notes because I'm going to fussy cut the car out and pop it up. Oh, Elizabeth, let me flip that over. It is really sticky. There we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp it with my Versamark. And this time I really don't care about the words. I just want to get a nice crisp vehicle. Hope it didn't move too much just now. Oh, it did, it moved. So let me move this one more time. I'm going to clean that off. It shifted a little bit on the Stamparatus paper. I'm going to get another one. 1 second, please. Or as we say, hold, please. Oh, I don't want to use that one. It's a big one. Oh, I've got another one that's similar size. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to put that one there and that one there. Okay, let's try this one more time. And I'm going to ink that up. There we go. And of course, that's not a very crisp vehicle, or not nice and black. Or it doesn't have to be black. You can make the vehicle any color that you want, guys, especially if you're going to be using the clear embossing powder. Oh, I think that would be so much fun, like have a purple car or something, or a pink car. You wanted to make it a card for a girl, make it a pink card. Just you have to obviously change up the sentiment, but okay, that's a beauty. Now I'm going to clean this off again. And when you're cleaning it off, just make sure you're not moving the stamp. Okay, and now the Versamark. And I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. And now we are going to do the same thing. We are going to heat emboss this, and then we can put the card together both ways. And you can decide which way you would like to put the card together. I actually ended up liking it with the card popped up, if you want to know the truth. Okay, put that aside. Bring up the heat gun. Woo, there she goes. It's a beauty when it all melts. It's a beauty. And now I'm just going to put that all aside and cover that up. And you know, I am also, even though there's not a lot left in there, I am covering that up because I went to make this card originally with black embossing powder, and I thought that would look really great, except for I dropped the black embossing powder over everything, and you all know what it's like to get embossing powder out of the carpet. So, okay, so now I'm going to assemble the card. I'm going to adhere this to the front. So then I had to rework, I had to pivot and change the card up. And that's when I came up with the clear embossing powder, and I really liked how it looked. Okay. And while I'm at it, I'll put inside in the card like this. Okay, so now I'm taking my piece of basic black, and I'm making sure that I've got my strips are right. And I'm putting this on the grid paper. And I know this is pretty, but this line is in the middle, and I want it on the 8. So this line is one edge, and this line is the other edge. And I need my Tombow glue, and I'm going to take the middle piece. And I'm using Tombow glue because it'll give you a little bit of wiggle room. Oops. And I'm going to adhere it so that these two, it's in the middle of the 8, and make sure it's even spaced north and south. And so this line here comes all the way down, and it matches that line there, and the same here. So we know it's well, relatively straight. Okay, and now we're going to lay this one, and it is going to get mounted like that, and this one will get mounted like that. Okay, now I take this piece. Getting the middle one centered is the key. If it's not centered, then you just have to adjust the middle, like the spacing, and then trim off one of the edges. It's not a big deal if it's not centered, but this just makes it easier. And then make sure it's got even space on the north, south, east, and west. And I don't think I'm very straight here, but it's a handcrafted card. And then the same with this piece. Make sure you get those corners. And you can use any glue, any adhesive you want. I'm just using the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue because, you know, it has that little bit of wiggle room before it dries. And if it's not perfectly straight, you can just slide it into place. Okay. Feel a bit of adhesive there. I do have an adhesive eraser, just a little bit of adhesive right there. Must have been on my fingers. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to adhere this to the front here like that, and I am going to pop it up with large dimensionals, and make sure you've got dimensionals in the center as well. And I'm going to put them in the corners. That. And I'm going to also put one here and one there. Okay. I just was really happy when this card came together. I actually did it also for a swap that I participated in, and everyone's got their card. That swap, everyone's got their cards now. So, and I used it for the Global Share Fair, and now it's for you guys. Okay, now this one that we have die cut out and embossed, we are going to pop that up here. I find sometimes with embossing cardstock, warps just a little bit, so make sure you've got dimensionals on that piece so that it straightens out a little bit. Oh, that was overkill on the dimensionals, but you know it's not going to go anywhere now. Okay. Yes, I do like popping stuff up. You know, that's my thing. Popping up and bling. That's why mail cards, I've got a hair on my lip. That's why mail cards are really hard for me. Okay, so before we go on, I am going to take this piece. Oh, let's do this first. And now we've got this arrow in Cajun Craze, and using wee dimensionals, I'm going to put 3 on it. This is going to hang over a little bit on the left-hand side, so you don't need to put a dimensional right on the very edge. Like that. Okay, and it's just going to hang over a little bit on the left. Like that. And then my, oh, there they are, my rustic metallic gems, adhesive back gems. I'm going to put 3 on here. I'm going to put 1 there. Doing this without getting my head in the camera. And 1 there. And 1 there. Okay. And then last but not least, you can leave this card as is. Bob's your uncle, Mother's rent, and you're done, right? Or if you wanted to take it up a notch, you can take this one and we are going to fussy cut it out. I'm cutting the wheels right off. I don't want the wheels. I also don't want the wiper, or not the wipers, the side mirrors. So I'm going to cut them. So this is a really, oh, I'll keep doing that. This is a really easy freehand cutting, fussy cutting, really easy to do. Not a lot of intricate cracks and crevices for you to cut around. And when you pop this up, the wheels and the side mirrors will be sort of underneath. And I think, in my eye, it just gives you that little added extra dimension. I did not do this for the swap. I wish I had have thought about it, but it wasn't until I did the global share fair that I went, oh, this would look really neat popped up. Okay, and now we're going to use some dimensionals. Yep, more dimensionals. I love my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. In case you guys don't know, that's the one thing I'd be very sad if they ever got rid of. Okay. And now I'm going to pop that on top of the card, and you'll see what I mean by it giving it just that little bit of extra detail. Oh, I think it's so cute. There we go. And there's the card. So you can pop it up, or you can just emboss it and the first time. Or the card I did for the swap, there was no embossing. I just kept stamping it with the Versamark until I got a nice, crisp, clean image. But if you wanted to, you can pop up the first card, the card on the base, or if you want to take it up a notch, pop up the card, emboss it and pop it up. Hope you liked that tutorial, and I hope that inspires you to play with the He's All That bundle. So He's All That stamp set with the coordinating dies and the amazing designer series paper. The designer series paper is what sold me on this stamp set, on this bundle, to be honest with you, because I really liked it. Have a great one. Happy stamping, and thanks for checking me out today, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.